play a small video. I'm gonna play a small video and we'll try to log in into the labs together. We'll try to log in into the labs together. Ame, do I have to log in and use this training key again and again? No. You don't have to log in into this using this training key again. You just have to do it once and then you have access to the labs. Ame, how long do we have access to the labs for? 6 months. 6 months. So it's okay if you don't do the labs today. It's fine if you are busy with other meetings. You can do labs at your own pace as well. So no stress, no race. I'm going to put a small video and then we'll try to log in into this lab portal together.
Hello.
First, if you can hear me, just give me a thumbs up because this video has sound. So just give me a thumbs up if you can hear it.
Hello everyone. In this video, we are going to go through how you get started on the labs, how we get access to the labs, and also some tips and tricks and things that are good to know when you're running the labs. So what we are going to start with is how you sign in to the labs. You also have this information available in your learning guide. So the first thing I will do is open up a web browser and I will go to esi.learnondemand.net. Here I need to sign in. And I sign in here using my Microsoft account. And here I will add my email address. So I sign in here with my personal email address and I enter my password. If you have a multi-factor authentication, is where you maybe use your authenticator app to authenticate, or you get a text message, for example. So here I sign in. And once I am signed in, the first thing that I have to do is to redeem the training key. So I will see that I have a redeem training key. If you can't see this, click on my training once. Then you're going to see this redeem training key. So if I click here, I have to add a training key. This is what is unique for each course, but you only have to redeem this once. Once you have done this, you don't have to do it again for this course. So I'll add the training key, which you also have available in the channel in Teams, and I click redeem training key. What I will see here is that it helps.
Okay, before we move forward, we will first redeem the training key. So once you redeem the training key, just pop it in the chat. Hey, I've done it or done. Just pop it in the chat so I can keep a track. So let's redeem the training key first. So I can know who's done that. Some of you have already done it. Thank you, Jose. Thank you, Fernando. Thank you, Arshdeep. Super fast, guys. That was quick. Okay. Lots of done. Because we have 43 people today, so I'm just going to wait for a minute because this is sort of like a tricky and an important bit. For those who have already done ESI, you know the drill. Start with your lab. For those who have already done this before, go ahead, start with the first lab. For those who are new, please redeem the training key right now. When I say right now, means during this session, you will not be able to redeem the training key later. So redeem the training key now. Do not share this training key with anyone else. It's not going to work. Giri, you need a Microsoft account. So you need a Microsoft account. I hope you've signed with a Microsoft account. You can use your Hotmail, but link it with your Microsoft account. So sign in using Microsoft account or create a new Microsoft account to log in into this one. You'll only have to do it once. What about others? Can I get some more yeses, some more dones, please? Some more yeses, some more dones. Thank you, Prashant. Don't be shy. You're in a very safe space. Okay. All right. Anyone who's not done? Anyone who's not done? Okay, cool.
Allows me to check my connection, and this is some good things to know if I only see.
Alright, so sorry to pause this. Moses, are you stuck somewhere? Are you good? Can I help you in some way?
Email address or set the Microsoft account?
I can't hear you, buddy. It feels like you're in a data center somewhere.
Oh, can you hear me now?
Not clearly. You can just pop it in the chat. What's up? Alright, Moses, I'll come back to you. I'll just come back to you. Let's look at the video first. I'll come back and help you. No stress. I'm here. Okay, thank you, Sean. Alright. So I'm gonna play the video. It's just getting around on how to use the portal a little bit. Some tricks and tips regarding the portal. That's pretty much it. The next 10 minutes.
Black screen, for example, or maybe I need to restart my router, something doesn't work. So make sure you read through this before you hit OK. Now I have access to the labs. I can see when the labs expire. And if I scroll down, then I can see all the labs. I can see here we have for Manage Azure Active Directory Identities. I can see we have manage resources using the Azure portal. When I want to launch my first lab, I will click on it. So I click on Manage Azure Active Directory Identities, and you will see a launch option here, and that is what gives you access to launch this particular lab. So you can start it. You will also see an option to cancel the lab. If you have it up and running, you want to start a different one, for example. So you will have that availability once you click on that lab. So if I go into one of my labs here, I'm going to see that. And if I want to launch one of these, I will click on it and I will hit this launch option that I will see at the bottom here. That's going to launch a lab VM, which will open up in a separate window. So it's going to look like this once it is started, and it's going to take a couple of minutes for this to launch. So I'm going to maximize this. I can close these things down here. So you get some pop-ups that you can just close down. What I have here now is, this is my area where I'm going to work. I have a Edge browser here that I can launch. I have Visual Studio Code, we have PowerShell. There are some things I want to do before I start to go through the instructions. And that is, sometimes this opens up with a resolution that maybe doesn't fit your screen. So what we can start to do is I can right click on the desktop here and I can go to Display Settings. And here I can change the display resolution. So here you change it after your preference. You might have to do this again for the next VM that you launch. But I change it here, then I can close it down. What you also can do, because this VM launches with a US keyboard as a default. If you want to change that, you can go to the bottom right corner, and I click on English here. Here we can see US keyboard is selected by default, and you can here select a different keyboard. So I could, for example, select the Swedish keyboard here. Very useful, for example, if you have to type password, for example. So it's gonna hit the right characters. Once I have done this, then I have on my right hand side is where I have instructions. Good to know is that this can be resized. So I can drag it to the size that I want. That's also going to change the resolution here of the working area. What you can also do, if you have a secondary monitor, I can go to the top of these instructions, and you have 3 lines. If I click on these, I can split windows. So now my instructions are in a separate window. So I could move this to a secondary monitor that I have it maximized on that monitor. You can also change the size like this. If I want to join these together again, I click on the 3 lines and hit join windows. Now they are back together again. On the instructions here is where you will have the lab instructions. You have information as well when it comes to if a resource group has already been created. For these labs, we use a cloud slice subscription, which means that you don't have to redeem anything. The subscription is already set up for you. So in some labs, there's also a resource group that has already been created for you. So make sure you read the first part of the instructions, which has some really good information for you. And if I scroll down, I can see the lab setup. So it tells me here, for example, how to sign in. I'm already signed in here.
So for those who are doing this for the first time, 99% of the time you will be already signed in into your setup. But you will have to log in into your Azure portal. So you will be already signed in. So don't try to sign in again. Start logging in into your Azure portal.
So it automatically signs you in. But if you were to get logged out, you will have the information here, what username and password to use. You also have a T symbol. Whenever you see this, it means that if you click on this, the information that is for that T is automatically going to be filled out. So if I open up a web browser here, so I will open up Edge, and it tells me here the address for the portal. So I can click on this T. I can see that it fills out the portal.azure.com. So now it takes me here to the portal. And I have the credentials to use to sign in to the portal. So I can also just click on these T's, which is going to give me access to that subscription that I have. So I can go through these, the instructions here. And what's also...
Okay, you might see something in this pink boxes. Don't miss things in the pink boxes. They might ask you to step some of the steps which are already done for you. So don't forget to look at the pink boxes. I don't know, because of human nature, we tend to skip that color. So don't skip it. Read that pink box.
Good to know is that for most of these labs, you need to download lab files. So it's available on the first page of the instructions. So whenever you see this, make sure you click on it, because otherwise you are not going to have the files, for example, that are needed for that lab. So make sure you download the lab files. I'm just going to put them on the F drive of this virtual machine. When it comes to sign in information, if I need access to this quickly, you don't have to go to previous or next in the instructions. So you see at the bottom here, I can go to next. So here I have the lab instructions. But if I want to have this quickly accessible, I need to know the username and password for the subscription. You will always have it available on the resources tab. So if I click on resources, I have the URL here for the portal, subscription ID, username, password, information about the resource groups or resource groups, and also signing into the machine itself. So it's available here under resources. You can also, if you feel like the text is maybe too small or too large, you can also zoom in or zoom out on the top. So change the percentage here. So that's what you have in the instructions. So what we had a look at just now is we looked at how we changed the display resolution, we changed the keyboard language. We also could see where we can find the information if we need to sign back into the VM, also where to find our subscription information, username, password, subscription ID, when it comes to what the resource group names. So quickly accessible on resources. We could also see how we can join or split the instruction windows if I want to have the instructions on a secondary screen, for example. What if something happens when you're running the lab? For example, everything is already or all of a sudden frozen. For example, you can't click on anything, nothing works. What you can do in that case is at the top of this machine, you have a little lightning icon and the monitor icon. These sit outside of the VM, so they are always going to be accessible, even if you can't click on anything inside this VM. If I click on this lightning icon, you have a reset internet gateway. So if you need to do that, you have this option. You also have a type text and type clipboard text. This is if you need to copy paste something into this machine. So if I click on type clipboard text, I can paste something here, write something, hit OK, and it's going to fill it out where your marker is set. So that's the lightning icon. You have reset internet gateway, type text, type clipboard text. You also have the little monitor icon. If I click on that, I can change to full screen, I can fit window to machine, I can also reconnect if I need to. So the good things that we need to keep in mind is we looked at here how we sign in. We get access to the labs using the training key. Once I'm in the lab environment, I can click on listen to that recording or see it in text. And also when I launch one of the labs is where I change the resolution, change keyboard language. We also saw how we can work with the instruction window, have it on the secondary monitor. Also where to find the instructions, where to find the resource to step or have all information. Not if something were to happen, that I can go to this little lightning icon, reset that gateway, do a copy paste, or working on the labs.
All right. So that's about labs. Now the next question is, Ame, which all labs do we need to do for today? Now the labs that we need to do for today are The first one, which I can see many of you have already started, Azure Policy, Resource Lock, MFA, and Implement Directory Sync. Ame, it says 1.5 hours for each lab. We don't have that much time. Now it just says 1.5 hours, but you can do it in half an hour. I'm very sure. Most of you that AZ-104 before, you already know that that is for everything. We do have more time for labs tomorrow, so if you can't finish today, it's totally fine. You can start again tomorrow. Now, an important thing, don't leave a lab half done. If you leave a lab half done, you'll have to start again when you launch the lab again. Progress is not saved. So your progress is not saved. So if you want to save up something, it's not possible. So start labs when you have time, 1.5 hours to actually do the lab. With that, let's start labs. I know some people are joining from US, Canada, or London, different time zones. If you want, please feel free to drop off and you can do labs in your own time. No need to sacrifice your sleep and do the labs with your eyes red. Just take your time, do your labs according to your own pace. For people who are already in Australia, New Zealand, India, if you want, take a walk first. It's awesome weather in Sydney today. It's always awesome weather in Sydney. And do the labs in your own pace. Me and Bhaska are there until 5 p.m. Australia time. So we will help you out. We can remotely log into your lab and help you out if you have any issues. So if you have any issues, do let us know. We are here to help you until 5 p.m. today. But if you have an issue because you're working in a different time zone, if you have an issue, take a small screenshot of it and give it to us on this chat. We will look at it and help you tomorrow. Yes, Lincoln, we will be spending rest of the day for labs today. No more theory. For those who are dropping off, please come back tomorrow for networking. It's going to be fun. Even if networking is not one of your favorite things, I'll make it as fun as possible, I promise. For those who are from networking background, it's fun time tomorrow. That's it from me. Any questions? Gopinath, I'll help you out. Any other person who has issues with lab, you will get used to labs. It's just first day is going to be tricky. From tomorrow, it's going to be better. So any questions regarding labs? John, unfortunately, there are no recordings. Unfortunately, there are no recordings, but we do give you a learn path where you'll have to read. Awesome, Gopinath. I knew that was the problem because generally we don't face any problems with that. It had to be that. Okay. So, any other questions? Sorry, Ajay, go for it.
Yeah, it's a question from the first part of today's session.
Okay.
I was just, with the setup of the Active Directory.
Just can I just hold you? Sorry, Ajay, just give me a second. Let's take the labs question first, and then
Sure.
we'll just discuss it.
No worries.
Any lab-related question? Any lab-related question? Nishant, totally fine. I know some people are joining from India, and I know you started at 4 a.m. today. Hats off to you. Just take some rest. Any other lab-related questions? Thank you. Just please come back tomorrow. I'll make sure I'll make tomorrow's networking session worthwhile. I promise you that. Okay, I'm giving 2 more minutes for lab-related questions, then we'll take questions from today's session. Are you all able to access labs and get started? Let me see how many are accessing. Okay, I can see a lot of people have already started labs, which is super awesome. So take your time and do your labs at your own pace. If you have any issue, let me know. Yes, sorry, someone came off mute.
Yep, it's Veera. I'm actually looking at a black screen here. So what do? Do I click the lightning button and dismiss that part on the video?
Sorry, your name is Veera?
Veera, yeah.
Well, I can't see you here. Oh, is it the same name you logged in with? What name did you...
Let me check Praveen, P-R-A-V-E-E.
Yeah, got it. I can see you here. Yeah, you might need to just go on that and reconnect. So go on that lightning or the small this and just either reset your internet gateway or just reconnect. Both of them should do the trick.
Oh yeah, perfect.
If not, you just launch it again. But I can see you here. Yeah, awesome.
Thank you.
All right. Now we're going to take up some questions related to the lecture. So Ajay, go for it.
Yeah. So from the first part of today's session, with respect to setting up the Active Directory, I vaguely remember that there was something to, we'll also need the global administrator access on the user that we are verifying AD for.
Yeah.
But by default, are you a global administrator once you log in? Imagine you have a new account that you have created and you have not set up your AD on that account yet. You have a domain that you have, you have a domain that you have bought from GoDaddy.com, and you want to set up your own Active Directory.
Yeah.
But when you log into the Azure portal, do you have the global administrator by default?
Yes.
For the user.
I do. So when I log in, I'll just open up my portal. There it is. So this is my Azure Active Directory. As soon as I get that subscription from Microsoft, if it's going to be either under my name or my company's name, so I have the username and password. So if I'm that first user to do anything on this, I will be the owner. So, but by default, for example, I own this company called as xyz.com, and this is the name of my company, xyz.com.au. But by default, when I start with, I don't have that domain. So any user that I'll be creating or inviting, by default will be this. So subscription name, whatever the subscription name it is, at that subscription .onmicrosoft.com. So by default, that will be the name. But I'm not happy with this name. My company's name is xyz.com.au, and all the users, all the employees of my company should be like Ajay at xyz.com, for example. So that's my first user. So if I'm not happy with it, it's fine. What I can do is go to my Active Directory, go to my custom domain name. First, if xyz.com is your company, that means you have bought it from GoDaddy, right? So you already own this domain now. But Microsoft doesn't know that you own this domain. So what you need to do is you add that custom domain, such as xyz.com. So I add that custom domain, but adding the custom domain is not going to help. Along with it, I need to verify this custom domain. So if this is my custom domain, XYZ, I need to verify it once. So the record that you see here, you just need to take it and paste it on GoDaddy and verify it. Once it's verified, then you are the king. You are the owner. The users that you will be creating would be new user. I have this domain which is verified, ame1123.site. So now
the moment sorry to cut you off there. The moment you verify the domain on your the Active Directory, the domain that verification that you just did, the moment you do that, the user from which you did that, will that become the global administrator by default immediately after that verification?
I'm already the global.
Oh, you're already the global.
Yes.
Okay.
I am now creating other users. I can create a new identity for myself also.
And from here on, it can be with that @xyz.com.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. Bhaskar, do you want to add on something?
No, that is already covered.
Okay, perfect.
Sure. Thank you.
I can for that, but that's not for you.
Okay, awesome. All right, Jay, I can see a question. Is it a question? Jay, look at that small pink box. Look at that small pink box. Look at that small pink box. It might tell you to skip one of the steps. I think it's step 6 or like step 7 or 8. You have to skip that because it's already created for you. So just have a look. If you don't find that small pink box, let me know. Great question, Ajay. Any other questions from today? Anything that comes to your mind. I learn from you. If I don't know, I'll go back, do my homework and come back. So any other questions? Yes, Ajay.
With respect to Office 365, and do you require to do the active domain setup?
You can use this for your Office 365 as well. You can integrate AD with your Office 365 environment pretty easily.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Sure. Thank you.
When we talk about Microsoft, the beauty of Microsoft, again, you might think I'm being a salesman, but the beauty of Microsoft is not just one product. It's the whole ecosystem, and it works and integrates with each other awesomely well. Okay. All right. So let's start the labs. Jay, did that help you? Were you able to locate the pink box? Yes, no? Okay, I'll help you out. Okay, I'm gonna be on mute. I'm gonna be off camera. If you need anything, just pop it in the chat and I'm there to help you. Don't miss on the pink boxes. I don't know why they made it pink. Could have used a different color. I've given them a feedback. They don't listen to me. Okay, all right.